Well, good morning, everybody. I can't believe it. We are already sitting here at Wednesday. It is week 2 of 2020. And so we have some really exciting things to be talking about today. I am obviously back in Pine River. I am at the Lifehouse Coffee Center, and we are actually meeting in another room talking about all things writer related, and it's pretty fun. And so I'm taking a little break away from it so that I can come talk to you guys about one of my favorite topics, which is Author Impostor Syndrome. And you'll learn a little bit more about each of the archetypes on my podcast today, so I'm not going to go into that today. Instead, I want to talk a little bit about what Author Impostor Syndrome is, how it has arisen for me, and 3 of the ways that I usually go about trying to combat it in my own life, because I think it'll be helpful for you as well. Now, one of the things that I find for me, Author Impostor Syndrome arises, and oddly enough, I don't have it pop up as much for my fiction stuff as I do with my nonfiction stuff, because I am always kind of wanting to learn and dig in, and if you listen to the podcast, you'll know which one of those imposters that is. However, with my fiction stuff, I feel like creativity has always been in me, so I'm not as worried about whether or not people will like what I'm doing or not. So, hey Raven, good to see you. So when it comes to Author Impostor Syndrome, here's what it is. It basically is when your brain tricks you into thinking that you are not good enough, that people will not like your work or call you out for being the fraudulent writer or author you think that you are, but you're actually just tricking yourself. So what it is, good morning, what it is that your brain, for whatever reason, wants you to do more, be more, and it's really just your ego saying that you need to have more in order to be accomplished, to be able to take on the role of authorship. Where if you listen to Webster's definition of what an author actually is, it says nothing about having to have the best publishers or the best editors or being a perfect author. It just says you write something. That's it. You write or you create a piece. And so you're an author regardless of whether or not you've published, whether or not you've published with someone big, whether or not you have published with yourself, and that's it. So don't let anybody give you crap about being a self-published author if that is the case. The thing for me, so when it comes to the different imposters, there are actually 5 archetypes. And if you listen to today's podcast, you'll be able to go through each. There's even a download so you can kind of take a look and try to figure out which archetype fits you best. But I have found that throughout my author career, and I've been writing, well, since I was a kid, but professionally since 2010, and all of them have arisen in me. It's not just like you're not just one type and then that's it for the rest of your life. You are actually probably a conglomeration of all these different imposters as they kind of come up in your author journey. So I'm not going to go into detail, like I said, but I will just kind of tell you what their names are. So there is the perfectionist, obviously what that is. There is the natural genius. There is the Superman, Superwoman. There is the rugged individualist. And then there's the expert. So for me, what used to come up the most really had to do with being the expert. I am a learner. I love learning. I love absorbing information. And I love being able to deliver that information to other people. However, until probably the past 3 years, it was one of those things where I wasn't quite sure how my level of knowledge really was, because I did a lot of stuff on my own, right? As authors, we sit and we're in our kind of mind space and we're doing what we're doing all on our own. We don't know how much we've learned. We don't realize how much we do or how much we've trialed or how many things that we've accomplished throughout the years. And unless you take some time to look back at it, it's very easy for us to forget where we started our journey. So when it comes to being an imposter in my world, there are 3 big ways that I have had to push myself in order to move past it and get myself into the right mindset to be able to do what I need to do. So the first one is act as if. And so what that means is that whenever I've felt like I'm not quite there yet, for instance, talking in public or doing presentations in public, that's where I will act as if. Number 2 is to go back and, like I said, remember those accomplishments. I'll take out a notepad and write down all the things that I've done before and make sure that I am reminding myself of what that looks like. And then number 3, I will move before I feel I'm ready. And that means getting pre-orders up, getting things scheduled before I'm ready to go, maybe do covers before they're ready. And all of that stuff will lend to being able to get things accomplished faster. I hope that's helpful. It looks like I'm gonna be kicked out of here pretty soon. So I'm gonna let you all go for the rest of the day, and I will talk to you again next week. Bye for now.